let's see here if he can take out Zeern. Definitely feels doable. I know this is a matchup that a lot of Sylvs are not a fan of, and a lot of Kraggs do think is pretty comfortable for them. I'll be interested in seeing how it goes. I don't know if I've seen these two play at all, so...
Yeah, it's a super rough matchup for the Sylv side.
Yeah.
Because Kragg kinda just shuts down some of the stuff Sylv wants to do. Like, just rock throw in general is so just scuffed in this matchup, because if there's flowers down, it will bounce off the flowers, and the hitbox will be extended for a really long time, or side B can be jump cancelled off of the flowers.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
But you can also side B cancel off of rock, so it can just kind of go both ways a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gimmicky stuff in this MU. Alright, Zeern settling for an F strong, just trying to get the percent.
The only caveat of like just the ability to side B off of the rock is your opportunities to do that aren't going to be as common as the Kragg's ability to jump off your seeds. Because as a Sylv player, the seeds are your set play. They're your resource. They're your grass. So you're gonna pretty much most of the time you're gonna constantly like want at least one flower down.
Oh no!
And, I mean, just messing up the recovery.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Getting it a little too fancy off stage. But
Get a little bit too in your own head.
still kind of sucks to see though. Wow, really trying to move here with these combos. Alright, gets the fair, isn't able to finish the chain though.
The chomp there. All I'm saying.
NME is really looking to finish this off.
Also, this part's a bit of a hot take, but I think Sylv likes killing off the top most of all. Just like his options for killing off the top are like way more potent than his options for killing off the side. And fun fact about Kragg, he is one of the characters who dies the latest off the top.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
I think it might even be the latest, not counting like Armor Endless. Yeah, I like Zeern trying to use Jab to shut down Rock. Jab has pretty good range. It's like a good range of speed and range. So, it's fairly, like, reliable for breaking Rock. But he was able to, enemies kind of able to mess with their range and bait Zeern into whiffing jobs, which is really smart. One thing I see some Kraggs do that's always really frustrating to deal with is they'll try to, like, do things right outside of where they would hit to bait you into certain options. It's definitely something to work around. Alright, Zeern wants to
going right back into it.
Yeah?
Honestly, I don't think this is a... Alright, this is a good Sylv stage. I don't think this is a good Sylv stage against Kragg.
Definitely
Because this is also a very good Kragg stage. And I just personally prefer... Forest Floor against Kragg, or even Merchant Port, maybe, or Julesville. Those stages have something in common, which is... Well, aside from Merchant Port, they don't go up very high. They're not very vertical stages, and I just think Sylv doesn't want to deal with the verticality against, especially Kragg.
Yeah, maybe. I think Kragg's gonna have a significantly easier time killing Sylv than vice versa. Sylv can rack up the damage, but actually getting the finishing blow is usually a massive pain. So, I can see what you mean there. Yeah, a big stage like this is gonna make that really frustrating, because Kragg's gonna live forever. Yeah, right now we're kind of starting to see it. Both of them at fairly high percent, not able to kill each other, but yeah.
Now this is something I struggle with myself, but this is just a general comment. Gotta start parrying those that Kragg down special if you want to get anywhere.
Oh yeah, big time. That's a really...
It's simultaneously, like, in theory, one of the easiest moves to parry, but it's also, like, one of the hardest just because how, like, Kragg can like throw the rock before it, and all of a sudden there's another hitbox for you to like parry or deal with, or because it just like he's active for so fast afterwards.
Yeah.
Because if Kragg couldn't move or couldn't throw rock right before it, it would be very easy to parry. It's active for 18 frames, and
I think it's active
takes
for
forever
10.
to
Well,
go
the
up.
last spike is active for 10 frames.
yeah.
But yeah, Pyre lasts long enough to give you just a massive period of time. But
It also doesn't help that Sylv is tied for the worst sliding parry in the game.
I think what makes that move a little different than a lot of the other side parries is it's a little bit more reliable to like get on top of it and still react when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely not great. Here we go, the Ferris are gonna start rolling out here. Kragg aerials are deceptively big and deceptively disjointed, so a lot of the time you can just kind of use them. Wow, that was way too close for comfort.
I like that. Just the down strong into trying to get the sweet spot back air. Very smart. Would have stolen the stock very quickly. Put you in the lead. Doesn't really... yeah.
There's not much you can do about that. That move's way harder to DI than it has any right to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, it's like a hell angle, but it's also not at all like a hell angle. It just kind of feels like one.
It just has 3 different angles at which it can send you.
Right, yeah.
Trying to get the beast dash up strong, but NME.
There we go, yeah.
If I remember correctly, NME is a... I don't know if how often they play together, but I know NME is friends with Zavi, and Zavi is also a pretty good Sylv, so probably is well versed in the Sylv matchup.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, like, this isn't a super difficult matchup to really get a grip on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely feels like Zeern is having a tough time really getting any major headway here. Getting, like, little, you know, chip damage and, like, little neutral wins, but it's just killing, and while I don't... I don't know if I agree with this. What do you think about this pick?
Alright. I love Fire Capital. Even against Kragg, I feel like it's a very good stage. Even though it has those high side platforms, they're not really in the annoying position where the Kragg down B on top of them would really pester you too much, because I like being center stage, and off of those like tall side platforms, they don't really reach center stage. However, it is one also giving that like extra space. I feel like there's like a critical mass of space in the Kragg matchup where it goes from being their benefit to like your benefit. It goes from like small stages I like against Kragg to medium-sized stages I don't like against Kragg to extra large stages I like against Kragg, as weird as that may sound.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just curious, because like, I know before it really felt like a lot of the issue was Zeern getting kills on NME. And I was kind of worried about that being a recurring issue on the stage. But let's see, right now, it looks like the other way around is actually true. NME having a really hard time. Oh, wait, never mind.
I blame the up strongs in neutral. It's such a tempting option, but
yeah.
I think that's the thing that Zeern is really gonna have to overcome if he wants to really take on these Kragg players or like others better players. Just be less reliant on your smash attacks for killing, unless you know for a fact like, oh yes, the smash attack is about to kill, or it's gonna connect at least. Just don't go for it.
Right, yeah. Like, Sylv's aerials are pretty solid at killing. They have some weird points to them, but...
I just think overall, outside of like very specific situations, Sylv smash attacks are pretty poopy.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're like that by design. kind of not the greatest strongs.
Biff also taking, Biff and Tubu pulling up an excellent point. Kragg can put rock at the edge of the stage and limit where you can even come up. It will force you closer to where it wants to be, thus making it easier to like get a confirmed down strong, which you can, if there's no grass on the stage, you can already do off of reaction.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Even more is. Let's shut this character down.
These up strongs in neutral. If you're gonna be up strong like that, at least make sure the opponent's in hit stun before you do it. That way it becomes harder for them to punish.
Yeah. Little things like that you can do to try to make it a little less punishable. I don't know, that move is definitely weird because it doesn't have quite as much end lag as you might expect. It's kind of mostly like front loaded with the lag.
Yeah, it's high startup.
I think a lot of people are going to be scared to challenge that. I mean, just kind of running into it, but if you don't get the tip or hit, it also doesn't really kill reliably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was...
Last stock.
Yeah, that was decent right there. He was able to get the kill, but...
Game point for NME.
Yeah, it's just one stock. Could be the end of the set.
Oh, barely dodging out of the way of that. Sweet spot. Definitely would have. That would have murdered. That would have been cold-blooded murder at that position, but still finds the sweet spot.